Hello, I'm Markus Dormann from Comprion. I'm in charge of product management at Comprion. And we have the pleasure to be here at the CCC Plug Fest, hosted by DEKRA. Maybe you see this in the background at the Lausitzring. Nice location. And with me, I have a real expert of the CCC Digital Key, Marco Steger from Hoof. Marco, would you like to introduce yourself briefly?
Sure. Yeah, glad to be here, and yeah, wonderful location for the CC Plug Fest. I think um, my team and me, we really enjoy being here, and yeah, I'm also looking forward to this interview. As Hoof, our responsibilities here are to bring our full system that we supply to our customers. So that is NFC door handle, but that is also the CCC brain and ultra-wideband and BLE satellites. Yeah, and we are here to ensure that our tech is actually working and working also in compliance to the CCC.
And you're chairing the security certification group. So you're a real expert of CCC.
I'm not sure if there are other experts also, but yeah, I know the standard. I love being part of the CCC. It's a great community to work with.
Oh, yes.
I guess you share this, and yeah, for me personally, I my day-to-day job is really building these kind of CCC-enabled systems, and yeah, but also being part of this community, driving the standard, making it secure, which I think is a very essential part of it, and also making sure that things work.
So we are both here at the Plug Fest, not for the first time. I've seen you a number of times already at Plug Fest. So you're still coming to the Plug Fest. So obviously there's a value for Hoof in coming to the Plug Fest. What is it what you perceive as valuable being here?
Oh, that's a good question. So for me, the Plug Fest is on the one hand side a very good opportunity to get in touch with the phone manufacturers, to having them really working on problems, improving the system. And I think the complexity of the systems that we build here will always allow for improvements. So be it fixing bugs, which there are in early developments. I mean, now we are testing the latest tech. We are testing release 4. So of course, there are problems that we have to fix. But even for, let's say, the established system that we bring on the road very soon, meaning release 3, there are things that can be improved. And Plugfest and this kind of ecosystem here is a great opportunity to do so. Furthermore, with more and more adoption, more and more phones that are capable of doing CCC, I do see that we have to ensure today, tomorrow, but also in a few years, right? That those things are working for the end user. And here I just see that what we can achieve here is taking today's phones and maybe tomorrow's phones if they bring it, right? But we also have to ensure that we help the CCC to establish this kind of certification program, because for me personally, I think this is what we need to assure that things will work in the future. So certification program, but also the tooling, the tools that you need to ensure on protocol level, on various levels, that things work is important. And this is also where I think you come into the play or into the game.
Yeah, we provide the tools on the one hand side, but also we are learning from this Plug Fest. When our customers like you are using our tools, are providing feedback to us about the tools, and helps us to improve the tools and to make testing even more solid than it was before.
Yeah, we can see that. I mean, your latest improvements you did, I can see that firsthand, that these things work, that this kind of feedback loop is up and running. So we really appreciate the efforts that you put into having the tool, setting it up, but also maintaining it. So really, really good, and I would say a fundamental part of what we do here.
So as a vendor of test tools, and in particular of test tools which test at the protocol level, all the details of the complex CCC protocol, we are of course interested to understand, okay, what is the value for you, not just doing tests on the functional level manually, but also doing testing tool-based on the protocol level. How do you see this?
I think this, I have to circle back to ensuring that there is also future interoperability, right? And while we can come here and ensure that with one particular system from us and a system from the device makers, the phone makers, we can ensure that things work, right? But I'm convinced that we have to take another step. And this is where the tool comes in, right? If both sides are compliant to the standard on protocol level, in our case, on APDU level, right? if we ensure that the chances that things will actually work in the field in 2 years from now are higher. And this is something that you can't really do without proper support by the tool, because otherwise how do you reproduce that? How do you ensure that everyone execute the tests the same way, right? And this is where I think we need this kind of tool that you have brought here into the CCC.
Okay. And that brings us probably to the next step then, which is certification. So there is a certification program defined and run by the CCC community. Mm-hmm. And there's always a debate, what is the value of certification? Is this really necessary? Is this not necessary? Can we just move ahead without certification? Because of course, there's always a complexity to go for certification. How do you see this, and for your business at Hoof?
Yeah, first of all, I mean, we do appreciate the chance given by CCC now to also get certified through Plug Fest participation. Mm-hmm. This is also, in fact, why we are here, why we really need your tool here with us, and we use it every day to reach this goal. And on top of that, I just think, and I know the discussion, that if we only focus on in-top level, it is tough to ensure for future devices, right? Because I mentioned the complexity, and I will do it again. There is complexity, and we release 4. It's just increasing, right? And so there are so many moving parts, and I think it's good that, as in example for NFC, that we have the possibility to really break it down and say, on this level, on basis of NFC, we exactly act like we define in our test catalog with what we do in our spec. And I think as we grow the ecosystem, I don't see a way around this. So for me, there is a clear path on what I would like to or where I want to go.
And you're coming from the automotive industry, means you're used to putting technology into a product, a vehicle, which remains there and is used also in 10 years from now. Means yes. Your digital key solution will be faced with smartphones coming to market in 10 years from now, which we have no idea how they look like and what is implemented there. So somehow you need to ensure that the solution you build now still works with a phone in 10 years. That's a challenge, right?
It is a challenge. It is a challenge. And this is also something where there is concern on our customer side, right? Mm-hmm. When with all those slow-moving development cycles that we have, right? Yeah. From the time that we see the first RFI or RFQ until we really bring it on the road. And then, as you said, the 10 years or 12 years, a car is on the road. This is a huge amount of devices that are going through the cycle.
Oh, yes.
So I remember my first phone as a key project. At the beginning, we defined a target device list, right? Those devices are now outdated.
Yes.
I mean, they are out there, right? I know enough people that switch their phones every year, right? And this is exactly what you described. This is the reality we have in automotive.
Exactly. So you in Hoof, you have dedicated development processes, testing processes, requirements on this. So you have a used mode of work. How do you deal with tools in this environment, and what are the challenges potentially?
So in the end, yes, you're right. We love our processes in automotive, right?
I think so.
It's very important, right? Building a car is a complex task, and the process is a guiding principle for us and for all the others as well, right? Being honest, bringing in these kind of tools now, or maybe the entire testing that we do here at the Plug Fest, I see it a bit of an additional task on top of what we are used to, right? Yeah. If we build the systems, we do this requirements-based, we have our frameworks, which is great, which assures quality, but integrating the tools and making sure that this works for not only one phone. We don't have one green test, but you want to have this test green and green and green for different devices. This is a bit of a new mindset that we were struggling introducing, right? But at the same time, we see that it's important. We see that customers ask us for automated testing. We see that they ask for, how do you ensure that there is stability, maturity in your system, right? And this is not just saying, I have 10,000 requirements and I have 12,000 tests to prove it, but they want to see other opportunities, other ways of ensuring this. And this is where I see test tooling, as you do, coming in. Now, my question would be, how can you help us? What can you do to make this even easier for us?
Yeah, of course, on the one hand side, from the tool side which we provide, and we are here also to get the requirements from you and the other colleagues of the ecosystem here. On the other hand, Comprion has a strong background in telecommunications, and for me personally, that is interesting because in telecommunication we are used to huge interoperability problems. Yeah, we are used to a mobile ecosystem where we have 500 new phones every year coming to the market, where we have mobile networks from a bunch of different vendors, and where we need to ensure this interoperability, and that's an ongoing task since years now, since many years now. And we try to bring in a little bit of the thinking of the lessons learned from this industry also into something which takes place now in the automotive industry. Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
So when thinking about a digital key, we mainly think about having a smartphone in our hand to open the door and to start the engine. But there's much more. And in particular, Hoof, you're coming from a world where you have built access solutions for vehicle for many, many decades, which were not based on a smartphone initially. There were key fobs and other elements. From your perspective, how is this evolving? What are the also forthcoming requirements for digital keys? How do these products, which your company is used to, which the drivers of a car use to, how does it fit into all this? What do you think?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, as Hoof, when I first visit our headquarters, right, I learned that we are in Nordrhein-Westfalen in this key area. So they call it key area because there are a lot of players that provide not the digital key, but real physical key fob for a long, long time. So we have experience there. And now the transition from the physical key to the digital key is, of course, something that we have to look and follow closely because it's the bread and butter business for a long time for us at Hoof. But it's not that the digital key replaces the physical key. We see still that depending on the user groups and the age maybe and the region, there is still room for other form factors that hold perhaps a digital key, but it's still different to a device. And this is also very interesting for us because we see that customers want this kind of range of devices. You cannot force or assume that each and every customer will be very happy with just having the phone as the primary access token. And even if it's your primary access tokens, there will be use cases where you still want to fall back to your good old key fob or where you want to have a cool new form factor, right? So be it a watch or be it another way of providing or proving to the car that you are the owner. And this is something that is very interesting for us because we want to have the digital key, but we also see there is a lot of other products that we can put on top and where we of course also have to ensure a quality level, where we have to employ or want to employ similar ways of testing and ensuring that they work.
So Marco, many thanks for all the insights. Was really interesting for me. Thanks for spending the time for talking to me here at the Lausitzring. I wish and I think we will also meet in future Plug Fest here. That will not be the last Plug Fest because there's a lot of work to do still for all of us, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, thanks for having me, and I enjoyed this as well. And I'm pretty sure we will meet and let us all keep this up because I really think that the ecosystem, the GK ecosystem, is benefiting from this Plug Fest. And besides that, it's a lot of fun doing these things together.
You're right. So thanks a lot, and yeah, goodbye. See you next time.
Thank you very much. See you.